Bronco versus Jeep comparison. Folks, we've owned Jeep. We've done a lot of test driving in Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Gladiator, two-door, four-door. We're on our third Bronco that we've owned. I've owned Jeep myself, mind you, a Jeep Cherokee, but I did some I roughed it up on the farm quite a bit.
I'm not surprised.
And I've driven quite a bit Jeeps, and I've an incredible amount of driving when it comes to the Ford Bronco. Twice we've driven from Canada all the way down to Florida the last time and back, but the last time we drove all around Florida. In the end, we did, what was it, like 8,000 kilometers of driving in a 2-week period.
Was a lot.
We know this vehicle. And we want you to continue to follow us and support us. So hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the bell notification because we're going to be coming to you with more Bronco information. But to give you, our live show scoop of all of this, you're going to share what you love about the Bronco. I'm going to share what I love about the Bronco, what I prefer on the Jeep, because there are things that I do prefer on the Jeep. And we'll just do a little bit of a back and forth, but I'll start. I absolutely love, and I think the Jeep kills it in two areas. The roof, you can have a hard top, it's painted, and electrically the middle can slide back. And the Jeep really kills it in that area.
Yeah, that's a thing that is missing in the Bronco.
That is missing in the Bronco.
That's a good point.
And I love the fact that there is not a 4-cylinder, but that the 4-cylinder can be a plug-in, dramatically increasing the torque of the engine to a very high, impressive, and enjoyable level. But I really don't like the Jeep standard. Well, not that I really don't like. I find it's subpar, the Jeep's 4-cylinder turbo. It's a little subpar, and the 6-cylinder is very much subpar. It has no turbo. Ford's 6-cylinder is way better. 2 turbos. Ford's 4-cylinder is, well, the 2.3 liter is reliable. You've got a reliable 10-speed transmission there. The Jeep, everyone scores major points to the Jeep when it comes to off-roading because they're only really thinking about rock crawling. But when you take a Jeep at high speeds over the whoops, that thing's all over the place. It's not a good place to be. And the Bronco at high speeds over the whoops, well, we've really sped through some fields, sped through farmer fields, even caught air. You don't want to talk about, driving quickly. We were driving fast enough that we caught air, got airborne, landed, and everything was done really comfortably. The airbags did not go off. So I'd say, very contrary to all the YouTube videos, overall, yes, the Jeep's better at rock crawling, but the Bronco is still extremely good at rock crawling because it handles the whoops, the high-speed off-roading so much better. And it's a much better get-you-to-work vehicle over little rough asphalt roads with either little or very deep Quebecois bumps. The Bronco suspension is far, far, far superior than the Jeeps. Now, I've talked a lot, so I'm going to let you talk so no one thinks you're kidnapped here.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you have good points there. I would say I was always loving the look of the Jeep before.
Yeah.
But
great colors, amazing colors at Jeep. So many cool colors. Love it.
Yeah, it looks cool, fresh, young.
More colors than at Ford, more exciting colors.
Yeah, and sometimes you have cute stickers like the stars on the doors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was excited when Ford decided to bring back the Ford Bronco because I'm nostalgic of the 2008 Ford Escape that I had because it was more taller, more higher and square than the Escape now that it's more lower to the ground, rounder. So I was nostalgic of that kind of shape of a car. And with the Bronco, we have all of that. It's big, it's square.
So better styling than the Jeep.
Yeah, and you took a picture. We talked about that maybe 1 month ago. You showed picture of your Bronco just beside a Jeep, and we see the difference. It's very, very big. I remember the first time I saw it in person when you bring it at home. I was so impressed of the size of the Bronco. So yeah,
parked beside an F-150, it looks larger and beefier and like tougher than an F-150. And no, those are big trucks, folks. Those are really big trucks.
Yeah.
Still some exciting colors, but Ford, we had that, school bus yellow that they called
Orange.
cyber orange, but it was really school bus yellow. But
That's a fun
Ford
color.
doesn't keep super fun colors around for too long. We've got eruption
Green.
Got to be careful there. Get the letters right. Eruption green. And the Jeep, though, does definitely do a better job when it comes to colors.
And for the roof, like you said, and I always loved the job that they did with the handles. The door handles on the Jeep are so nice with the bottom. With the Bronco, we have a standard handles like any other car. But yeah, my favorite of these two is the Bronco, definitely. I love the comfort inside. When we hit the bumpy road, we're good. In the Jeep, sometimes it's more difficult, or you have trouble with your back, and you doesn't love that much to drive in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And it can wander on the road. When you're going over those bumps quickly, it can do a little bit of wandering, which isn't great.
And do you know which one is more, how can I say that? I always have the expression in French, but do you know between Jeep and the Bronco, which will cost more in fuel? Is it Jeep that is more?
That's where the
automatic?
Jeep has a huge a really nice advantage. The Jeep plug-in,
Yeah,
the
they have a
four-cylinder
plug-in.
plug-in, is incredible. And Ford needs to get their game on and bring us. I've been tempted. I can tell you, I've been very tempted.
I know.
I haven't cheated, but I've been tempted.
Spoke about that
The
model.
392 V8, if I want to use a stupid amount of gas but only drive the vehicle once a week, the 392 has tempted me for insane, incredible sound, amazing power, more power than the 2.7 liter, more power than the 3 liter Raptor engine. So, and you've also got the other end of the spectrum. You've got a very torquey four-cylinder plug-in. I don't like two of the engines that Jeep offers, but I really like the idea of the plug-in, and also at the other extreme, the 392 V8. And I'm hoping, generally, competition makes everyone better. Remember, you can only get a Jeep in the past on like 33s, then 35s, and I believe now even if there's a 37-inch tire package with the 392 as an option on a 392. So yeah, you'll end up spending a ton of money to get from factory 37s. But Ford came out of the bat with the Bronco. They're like, you want 35s? You get 35s. You want 33s? You get 33s. 33s are the small ones, basically. They're the mid-range. So Ford really kicked it up because the Wrangler was still getting sold. And Jeep kicked it up quite a bit with the new model here, with the 2024. I do expect Bronco to, how do they say it? Leave no prisoners, take no prisoners. They're not gonna take any prisoners. They're gonna mean business. I can tell you that there are definite plans to have a plug-in Bronco. There's even long-term plans to have an electric Bronco. Plans can change, so don't quote me on this. I can just tell you that I can say that there are definitely. It's in the works. The idea of having an EV Bronco is in the works. And I actually kind of like the go-between, because with a plug-in Bronco, we could get all the way down to Florida, no issues. But, for the day-to-day, we'd plug it in and it would be an electric vehicle most of the time for us, but still be able to take us down to Florida without major annoyances, as is the case with the Lightning.
Yeah, well, we cannot do that with the Lightning. It will be too much longer to charge each time. No, it will be not that fun. Yeah, the future, like many people said in the chat in the past few lives, the future is really with the hybrid.
Wrangler brought a bigger screen because of the Ford Bronco, and then very oddly, the Ford Bronco suddenly got rid of the 8-inch screen, and for 2024, everyone gets a 12-inch screen. So I love the competition that's going down. I do not expect Ford to be offering us a V8 ever in the Bronco, but a plug-in, Hopefully on the 6-cylinder, that'd be insane because then it would just completely destroy the plug-in from Jeep, because you destroy it in acceleration, you destroy it in torque, horsepower. It would just blow away. It'd be a no holds bar death match, and the Bronco would just completely squash the Jeep. But I'm thinking, it could also be the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder, which is a great engine, and as a plug-in, it'll go from being a good engine to being a great engine. Either way, I prefer the 2.3 liter turbo from Ford than their 6-cylinder, their standard engine. So there'll be more on that. We're going to be talking a lot more, having edited videos from our Bronco off-rodeo footage, where we off-roaded harder than most because we're in a group of only 3 vehicles. And with being 3 vehicles, we got to do the hardest course that was available in New Hampshire.
That was fun. Yeah, we had time
And
to
our
do
guide said it was,
course.
the guide said it was one of the, he either said the hardest or one of the hardest obstacles he's ever dealt with. And he said a good number of the days we can't even get up to the top. And they're like, today I'm hoping, it was all about how dusty, muddy, dry, but not too dry. It was all about, the rocks got to be just perfect, because if there was rain and then it really dried up too much, well, then you won't get any grip because there'll be like a little layer of sand all over the rock. So
yeah, we were very lucky that day with the weather.
Please, in the comments, let us know. Don't just say Bronco sucks or Wrangler or Gladiator sucks.
Tell us why.
Tell us why. Tell us
want to know.
which one you prefer and why you prefer it. So discourse makes everything, everything's better with an actual discourse and exchange and open-mindedness. The want and ability to look at various facts and figures to then come to a conclusion and be willing. That's called an opinion. You've used your data to make an opinion, but then when someone brings you data that maybe breaks away from your opinion, destroys your opinion, you should be always willing to change your opinion if new information or unknown information to you comes along.